Woo, man, it is absolutely terrible weather we are having here in the Austin, Texas area. Apparently, we are setting records with the dew point and humidity levels. And just to give you an idea of how bad it is. So 20 minutes ago or so when I decided to come out and get a mow in. Oh, and by the way, lawn hasn't been mowed, front or the back, in 6 days. We just got back from a trip down to Mexico, Cozumel, Mexico. So the lawn looks pretty rough, man. So I had no plans on shooting today, but I figured, you know what? This is something that happens, man. We go on vacation and we come back and we deal with it, right? So thought I would just shoot something pretty quick and just talk about a few little things here and there. But anyway, so I come out and the app says it's 97 degrees, but it feels like 112. 112 degrees, man. It's terrible out here. We're no strangers to 100 plus, 105, 108, 110, but 112 because of the humidity and the dew point. Man, you walk out to your car and you're just saturated with sweat. So anyway, just thought I'd share a little quick video on getting the lawn back in order after ignoring it for 6 days. The day I'm shooting this video is Tuesday, and I last mowed my lawn on Wednesday of last week before we went on our trip. Normally, waiting 6 or 7 days between mows is never a good thing, especially when you have low-cut turf. However, one thing that helped me is that my turf is under regulation from the plant growth regulator I use. As we've discussed before on this channel, a plant growth regulator slows down vertical growth. Had I not been using a PGR, my turf would have grown much taller while we were gone. Either way, my grass has grown more than I'd normally allow, so I'm faced with two choices today. I can mow taller so that I don't take off too much leaf material, or I can mow at my usual height of cut and risk yellowing my lawn a little because I'd be taking off too much leaf material. Before our trip, I'd been maintaining the height of cut right around 7/16, so that's just under half an inch. So what I did for this mow was I raised my height of cut just a hair above half inch, so probably 9/16, somewhere in there. This increase in height of cut is almost nothing, but I figure it would be a nice compromise between cutting off too much and not taking off so much leaf material so that I can maintain some color. And to be clear, yellowing the lawn from scalping off the top growth isn't the end of the world. The plant will grow more leaf material anyway in a couple of days. But why stress the plant when it's already starting to fight the hellish summer temperatures that we get here in Texas? Now, I shot this angle of me mowing the driveway side of the front lawn because I wanted to show you this bare spot by the crepe myrtle right here. My dumbass didn't fasten the quick connects between the spray wand and the hose on my sprayer last season when I was spraying my fall pre-emergent application. I pulled the trigger on my spray wand and the pressure kicked off the hose and spilled some of the tank mix right in this area. You can see a few smaller bare spots to the right. I immediately watered like crazy to try to dilute the mix and to reduce the chances that it would hurt the crepe myrtle. It didn't hurt it at all, but the grass didn't like it. It's just now starting to sprout some green leaf material. Edging is a huge part of making a lawn look sharp. Don't frown on getting some nice, crisp edges on your lawn. Sometimes just edging by itself can make your lawn look pretty clean, almost like it's been mowed. It just looks neater. These bad boys are called Rotary scissors. It's basically two plates with sharp edges, and the plates spin in opposing directions, so when the blades spin into each other, they cut like scissors. It's a great tool for folks that have low-cut turf because it lets you trim along fences and other structures sort of like a real mower does. But I also use it to clean my tree borders or my flower beds by turning it over like this. It just makes for a really sharp look. When it comes to our backyard, we love the trees and the shade. The space is really nice and it's super usable for the family. But in the same breath, I'll tell you that I wish we had less trees and less shade. And that's only because Bermuda grass really thrives in full sun. It's hard to tell on camera, but there is a difference between the front yard and the backyard. The front gets full sun for at least 8 hours every day, and some parts get more. In the back, there are spots that get 6 hours max of full sun, and there are parts that only get about 3 hours of full sun. So it's slower to recover whenever the turf is fighting something in the backyard. It's definitely slower to recover from all the dog pee spots you see everywhere.
Oh man, eyes are burning. Wiping so much sweat off my forehead that my sleeves are so wet I can't even dry my eyes. But anyway, trying to catch my breath. So as I said earlier, I wasn't really gonna shoot anything today, but when I came home today to a messy lawn, I thought, you know what, man, let me just shoot this and talk about it, since we all go on vacation and find our lawns a mess when we get back. So I wanted to end here with this ugly shot, because I think it was in the last video I caught this in a shot where I was mowing, and I captioned the shot dog traffic and something like, I'll talk about this in the next video. So I thought, you know, as I was walking by right now putting away stuff, like, man, why not do it now? So this part right here, you know, you see the steps, the landing, when the dogs come out for their potty break, they come down and they walk the perimeter, either out into the lawn or back onto the steps and into the house. One of our dogs was a blind dog. Fortunately, we lost him about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was an old dog, had pulmonary issues. Before he lost his sight, you know, he knew the backyard. When he lost his sight, he walked the perimeter to kind of get, you know, the lay of the land before he went out and did his business. So he tended to walk this, again, either out to do his business or back into the house. But this part here, along with that part around the corner, it's not only fighting the dog traffic, but it's also fighting shade. So the sun rises over there. By the time it clears the house and this spot gets sun, right now, this time of year, it's about 1 o'clock. Well, then it rolls, you know, the sun moves, and then the shade from the tree starts creeping in over here about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So this spot here, along with the one around the corner, only gets sun for about 2 or 3 hours. And so when I run my irrigation, or we get a good rain, this spot here tends to stay wet longer than it should. And I don't know if you can make it out, but there's a little bit of the green mossiness algae part that grows when soil stays wet too long. Now this morning when I came out, it was pretty green, but I came out with a rake. You're supposed to rake that to break it up so that the sun can dry the soil. And it's pretty much dried up already, but you still see a part of it in some spots. I don't know if the camera can make it out, but anyway, so this area along with the curve is fighting dog traffic and moisture. So I also need to come in here and clean these live edges. I like these live edges where there's no border. They just look cool. I think they look cooler. But again, being in Texas, we have clay soil. And so when it gets too dry, if I step on it the wrong way or the dog steps on it the wrong way, you know, it chips kind of like it did here and here. So I got to come in here and clean up these edges a little bit. The other thing I got to clean up is this mulch. While we've been gone, some animals been coming in from the green space onto our property and digging for grubs and bugs and whatever. So I got to clean that up. But anyway, man, I'm probably rambling too long, so I'll wrap this one up. Hope you got something out of this one. And again, the next video is the one I wanted you to see before you saw something like this. But it'll be pretty cool, man. Something that most people kind of talk about, but you don't really see done. I'll cover that as far as what I do. So until then, stay cool, man. It's terrible out here. Don't come to Texas if you're coming here for vacation. Don't come here. Anyway, be good to yourselves, man. Be good to your lawn, right? Good to the people around you. All right. See you later.